Okay, pardon me. Let's go again. Oh, GM 2284. So not that high on the auto pairing, the rating, but still GM opponent. I'll have to put out of my mind that I'm playing a GM opponent. Just try and play well. So here, should I try Bishop E3 or Bishop D3? I don't know actually. Well, D6 there's no pin variation, so maybe even F3. Well, I'll try Bishop E3. So a quick E5. Now here F3. So I'll let Black play for D5. I think I've looked this up a few days ago. I think it's bad really to play Knight D5. If Black's going to play D5, just allow it to happen. But now maybe it's getting more beneficial to consider it. But G4 Knight A4 or even Knight E2. I think I'll play for G4 here. So if B4, I don't know, Knight A4, the knight's kind of stranded. So if I play G5, he might play Knight H5. That's the problem, sort of blocking the attack. On the other hand, I get more control of the D5 square. Maybe even H3 and F4 is worth considering. Or H4, H5 and G5 to be able to play G6, because I don't really like this Knight H5. Okay, so I might try H4 here. Let's get in H5 and G5 and G6. So kind of aggressive play against my Grandmaster opponent. So that's a nifty move, Rook B8. So maybe he's going to play B4 and A5. So H5, I don't know, maybe it's too slow, we're going to find out. So here, Knight A4, there's always Queen C6, so I don't think that's particularly brilliant. Knight D5, Knight takes ED, the bishop's trapped. So if bishop takes ED, I'm not really sure what's going on there. I do get the light squared bishop, but then if A5, maybe Knight C1, maybe that's okay. The opponent might get the Knight C5, so I don't know if Knight D5 is worth playing here. If Knight C2, maybe then D5 becomes possible with D4, and that'd be horrible. Alright, so Knight D5 it is then. Right. Well, I've just realised that Knight B6, and I might be forced to give up the dark squared bishop. Alright, I'll give up the dark squared bishop just to be able to play G5 and G6. Trying to tear open some lines on the king side. But I am weakening the dark squares quite a lot. Here, what about Rook takes H6? Very aggressive move. Avoids Bishop G5. Keeps some threats on. Maybe Bishop H3 to E6 is going to be useful here. And it's good that Bishop G5 isn't a check, so there's Queen D8 and Bishop G5 would be check. So it's good the king's on B1. So so Knight F8, Bishop H3 looks as though it could be tasty. The tastiest position I've had for a while against the GM opponent, anyway. Because then if, say, Queen F2, Bishop E6, Knight takes, I've got Queen H7 to F7 mating. So I think this is kind of dangerous, having this light squared bishop, even though I've lost control of the dark squares. At least with the rook sacrifice, I did stop Bishop G5, so I'll try this move now. So let's see. So Bishop E6 is a major threat. I don't know how my opponent's stopping it. I'm sure there is a way. They're very resourceful. But Queen F2, Bishop E6, Knight takes. Thankfully, I've got the F3 pawn stopping Queen F2, defending F7. So Knight takes, Queen H7 to F7. It's quite exciting. Yeah, I had a bit of a nap earlier. I think I've been zonked out from. I think I see a forced mate here, you know. Because instead of Queen takes G5, which might give Black more time like Queen E8, what about just Bishop E6? There's not too many options. Bishop E6, Knight takes, Queen H7, king moves and then queen f7 mate. Unless I'm imagining it. So I've got 2 minutes here. Bishop e6, what candidate moves are there? So let's draw a tree here. I think the tree's only got one branch. Knight takes e6, queen h7. Let's draw another tree. There's only king f8, then queen f7 is mate. Unless I've miscalculated. Bishop e6. Just ignoring the bishop on g5. I've just mated my first GM opponent with live commentary. I hope you've enjoyed that. Let's have a quick look at that again. Oh my god. I didn't think it would happen so soon. No, I was just thinking, wouldn't it be nice to beat a GM opponent with live commentary? And it's just happened. So GMs are beatable on 5 minute. I usually just play them on 1 minute and 3 minute, and I have beaten quite a few at the faster time limits. I think this is one of the rare times I've beaten one on the longer time limit, the 5 minute. So I had to give up the dark square bishop here, relinquishing control of the dark squares, but I just wanted to get my attack in, and this did real damage, this g5, g6. I once beat Murugan in the Lloyd's Bet Masters years ago with a similar plan. It just rips open, this diagonal and the h file, and so it causes a lot of problems for black's king safety. If he has one more move to play bishop g5, then he's got great dark square grip. So this rook h6 is like positional as well, to make sure black never gets in bishop g5, or at least without it being a sacrifice. So I'm very pleased with this win. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I certainly did. Please leave any comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.